back to your favorite channel, Trading Technicals. Today I have come up with something continuation with earlier video, which was talking about anchored Vwap. Now I'm going to show you something which will help you in your day trading. How do we kind of find out certain levels and other things, right? So if you would have observed the anchor VWAP, which we used to put it on certain levels, right? And so on the trading view, if you would see the anchored VWAP around this trend lines, okay. So this anchored VWAP is the last option, okay. If you select this, and what we used to do earlier is we used to put it on the swing high, swing lows, right? And we used to get certain levels, right? So, if you would have observed certain levels which used to work on these swing levels, and then we used to get certain momentums, right? Now, I'm going to show you something which is unique. Okay, what I'm doing is I had given earlier also I had mentioned that we can put on the starting of the candle, right? But here, what I'm doing is I'm putting little differently. Okay, this one is basically I'm putting the last candle of the day. Okay, and this one you have to put it on a futures chart only, because this one will not work on a spot chart, right? So one thing is you can just select on the last candle of the day. Okay, so if you put on 23rd, say 24th, 25th, we had 2 days, right? So if we are putting it here, okay, on 1525 candle, which is the last candle of the day, if you put there, you would see an important levels which are marked. Okay, now next day when the market is opened, exactly opened around this level, right? And then the VWAP it is continuing. Okay, so the anchor is basically this level, right? So last candle of the day. So I'm getting the trend for the next day. What is my trend, right? And when it is crossing this particular level, or this particular level it is opening, right? So when it is opening around this level, and it is holding this middle line, which is basically your normal VWAP, right? So when you are putting it here, you can quickly enter with a target of this, right? And then if at all we are getting a breakout, we can put a stop loss around this level and we can trail it also, right? Now, combination of this which will work very nicely, and if you see on a full day, Nifty was trading, Nifty future was basically trading within this range only, right? So what is happening here is basically this is nothing but your standard deviation. Okay, so if you look at the multipliers and other things, you can select 2 also. Okay, so 2 will give you a better view here. Okay, if you want default one, you can also select that particular thing. Okay, so we will just keep it for 2. No, sorry, just keep it for 1. Okay, which is a standard one. Okay, and we will see how the levels works. Okay, now with this what we can do is now we know how the levels are formed. So basically we had a gap down opening and then market has suddenly reversed. Okay, with this what I'm doing is I'm adding a combination of normal standard pivot points, right? So that we know the targets and resistance points and other things, right? So if you look at here, Nifty has opened exactly around this level. Okay, this pivot level, which is above our VWAP also. Now here we can enter. Okay, and our target will be the first pivot. Okay, and when the pivot is when the pivot is reached, we can book the targets. Okay, and then if at all we are getting a short position here, we can always take a position with the stop loss, this target, right? And the stop loss would be just above this particular candle, and that is how we can trade with these levels. Now if you look at it, now we have seen on 23rd of March levels. Okay, and if you put same thing on the 24th March. Okay, now if you look at this 24th March, okay, we had this kind of level which was formed, right? It was a gap of opening, however the first candle itself is negative, right? And then we have negative VWAP, right? So basically the candles are going below the VWAP, and we can quickly scalp if at all you are a scalper. And what we can do is, if at all there is a breakout or breakdown which is happening, now if you see, look out for this level. When we are getting the breakdown here, okay, my stop loss would be just above this particular level, which is also an pivot level. Okay, So once the market is trending below this pivot level and my VWAP, it is a clear confirmation for me that it is a short position and I can reach to this particular S1 level. Okay, so this would be my target. Okay, once this is achieved, okay, then we are exiting the trade because it is still negative. If you want to continue with this further this thing, you can still continue. Otherwise, what we will do is we'll wait for this level to cross. Like again, it is going into the VWAP standard deviation. Once that standard deviation is done, what we can do is again we can re-enter, okay, with just below this particular level will be a stop loss and the target will be the pivot point. So this is how simple this strategy is. Okay, what you can do is you can always add some layers to it. Okay, so here in this case you have almost a similar levels. Okay, what I will show you is something different. Now here we had these levels, right? And if you put first level also, then we will get a proper this thing. Okay, now if we look at the combinations, okay, now here you look at this particular thing, right? The trapping thing would be much more avoidable in such scenarios, right? Now look at this, market has opened above, okay, it's a gap up opening. However, we are seeing this particular standard deviation band is not broken and market started coming down. Now look at this, how it has come down to the target, right? So once the target is achieved here, okay, we are exiting. We will wait for another confirmation here where the market will go up and our target will be band middle line, okay, so which is basically a normal pivot. So these two lines are basically the standard deviation of the pivot. Okay, now you can do more experiment with this particular thing. Okay, if you look at the rejections at the VWAP levels, it will help you to kind of take further trades. And if you do two analysis, which is basically earlier day and then the this day, okay, you would get these kind of bands which will tell you where exactly the ranges are. Okay, so if you look at these ranges, it will clearly tell you how it is going. However, my suggestion is keep it only for the yesterday's last candle and it will kind of help you. So basically it is taking care of your gap down and gap up openings, and it will help you to kind of take certain trades. Just a combination of your pivot points can help you to decide even the targets as well as the stop losses. So this is how the strategy works. Do test it on your own and then share your feedback. Thank you guys.